Good evening. The Hooves today in Steak and Kidney were on at Rosehill, good old Rosehill, and the track was good, and the rail was 2 metres out, and the wind, the old Jack Lind, it was out of the northeast for the first say 5 races, and then it was directly out of the east. And it didn't have any effect on leaders turning for home, that's for sure, because up near the lead and on the 18 pence, it was a huge start. If you were back in the field today and tried to swoop, you had Buckley's. Up the place was the place to be. Now in this first race, for the 2-year-old fillies, on the screen there was 98.2. Oh, the robots, they'll call the fraud squad. How could we do it to them? But there was only 94 in the marketplace where we were. Come out here where we are, boys, instead of out up there in the grandstand with all the steam tugs betting with you. And what about the filthy TAB? Wouldn't they be out? They have every bet they lay is a ripper. Anyway, going straight to the front was Crazy for You. We put them up more or less 5-4 a pair, 225 a pair, Certitude and Crazy on You. And Crazy on You kept on getting out. It went straight to the lead. And from barrier 1, Certitude was always looking at it. Got off its heels turning for home. Finished up winning by 5 lengths. Strong win. But as I say, up near the lead. But it was still a strong win. But I suppose they're not real strong 2-year-olds at the present. But it went away and won by, as I say, 5 lengths. And it started the clear favourite. It went up to 5-4, got out to $2.50. It was into $2.30 at one stage. A bit hard to get. Well, not hard to get. It was always. No, it never went under. What am I saying? It never got less than $2.40 after it got out to that $2.50. Came into $2.40 and started $2.50 because very late in betting there were a few runners back. They took $18 the top weight, turned 17. They all had 54. Artistic Classic was back. It was $13 in. They took the $51 Devil Miss, and down near the bottom they took the 100 right towards the finish, Poison Arrow, and the bottom one, Rock Dreaming. It was sensationally backed at $10 given in the outside ring, $8 and $9 on the fence. It was in. It only started $5. It was extremely well backed, and wouldn't have won with a start. But anyway, it most probably will improve. The winner, as it turned out, had plenty on them. Now the fraud, don't worry, robots, the fraud squad's on its way, because in this next race, we did it to you again, it was only 99.3, but out where we were, it was only 89. Oh my God, it was no good at all. But by the same token, the winner was a bit hard to lay, but not if you gave the $3.70, which was on offer. These were the flux. Texan Lad, it went from $5.50 out to $9.50, back into $8. Grand Business, it went from $3.80. You wouldn't see it on the flux, but a blind man could have got the $4.60 and $4.40, started $4. Long lasting, it went from $4.40 out to $5.50, back into $5. The winner, Golden Sunshine, straight to the front. That was the place to be, hard to run down if you're on the 18 pence and leading. $2.80 out to $3.80, back into $3.50. The Broken Shore, unfortunately, might have been in season, this horse, but it wouldn't have mattered if it wasn't. It ran 21.2 lengths last. I thought we all knew it had its birthday last, started Canterbury. It went from $12 out to $13, back into $12. And Slippery Moss, who was tailed off at one stage, and Bold Blake Shin, he couldn't get it to catch the second last horse. It must have been a good dozen lengths off the lead at one stage. Under hard riding, it went from $11 out to $13, and it made up plenty of ground from that position to run second, only beaten 1.5 lengths. It was 2.6 lengths between the first 5 horses, and as I say, Broken-Shaw was eased down, beaten a long way. But the winner, because it had the 18 pence and leading, that was enough for it to get home. If it would have been a swoopers track, well, of course, the second horse wins easily, doesn't it? Race 3. Now, this is a little bit better. The Fraud Squad's easing off. 101.4 on the screen. A little bit better for you, robots. In the marketplace, only 99. And Cantonese, I must be the best goose of all times. I marked it 9 to 4. Could have had it shorter. And they gave 11 to 4. And I did my money on it at the $3.20. And a little bit of $3.30. And after they gave $3.80 for whatever you wanted, and it was started $3.20 hard to get, it went straight to the lead, at least Leah Spree, and it finished up running last. Can't run the distance, trainer said, 2,000 metres, got beat 16 lengths, and had the bias in its favour, so it was a very ordinary effort. Well, it was a 40 to 1 chance anyway. And sitting on its outside was Cantonese, and straight on its back, the one out, one position was Soros, who started the $3.10 favourite, Cantonese $3.20. And when they got to the turn, unfortunately, Soros was pushed out of the way by the horse running third on the fence, Devised, and it was struggling to catch to make ground coming to the turn, where the winner, Cantonese, was travelling very well for Jenny Duggan, and it went away and won by 1.3 lengths, coming from off Soros's back in 5th position was Moriarty. It copped a bit of a check at the start, and it pulled a little bit in the run, so its run wasn't that bad. As I say, we only gave 94. The winner went up $3.20, got out to $3.80, back into about its opening price. And I won't go through the other flux. It wasn't any good. There was only 95% there. Now we got to the 4th, and the Fraud Squad, I think they're getting back in their cars now, because it's looking all right on the screen, 103.8. But us poor captains out in the marketplace, 96 we gave again. Back 'em all, you can't lose. Anyway, going to the front was the place to be, as we saw, as I keep on saying. Sastruga, sensationally backed. We put it up 3 to 1 the field. We'll have Sastruga. 3 to 1 the field, 3 to 1 the field. And it got out to $5. They were going 4 to 1 the field, 4 to 1 the field. Well, they weren't saying 4 to 1 the field towards the finish. They were saying $3.70 the field, 3.70. They weren't yelling it out too loud, the 3.70 at the finish. Might have even been 3.60, because it was poleaxe. They killed you for the 5, 4.80, 4.60, 4.40, $4.24, and 3.90 and 3.80. And who went straight to the lead in this race? Oh my God, Sastruga did. And it clung on, set a nice solid pace. Up front did the jovial Josh Parr, and behind it was Killer Kath on Dark Brown Sugar. How was it going to win Dark Brown Sugar? It struck the lottery last start when it won at Hawkesbury. Anyway, it dropped out and ran second last, and after having the bias in its favour, Sastruga, it was able to just last and hold on by 0.1 of a length from Vera Miller, who would have been a sensational result for the captains, because it didn't have a price. It went from $10 out to $15 on my board when they jumped, ridden by the pumper. It came from third last, sailing down the outside, which was extremely hard to do, to only fail by that position. And coming from fourth last inside it was Zabafloat, who was slightly checked in the run, and it was only beaten 0.2 of a length. So both second and third horses were good runs. The winner got the bias in his favour, but it did set a fast pace up in front, but still, I suppose the second horse and the third horse were possibly the best runs in the race. I won't go through the flux. I've already told you the winner. It was a strip out for the captains. Now we got to race 5, and this was fat. Don't worry, the boys in blue, they've gone back to the office. On the screen everything's in order now. 110.8. Cop that, you punters. And in the marketplace, we got only down to 107. This was fat. But unfortunately, the Avery, I'm talking about specific choice, Horseman Bowman, he was a Jerry. The Stipe said, how come you led today? He said whatever he said to them, but of course he would have jerried Horseman Bowman. But up there near the lead, and especially leading on the fence, was a huge advantage. He went straight to the lead. I didn't want to miss it. I gave $6. It went up $5.50 favourite. 5 to 2. What am I talking? 5 to 2. 9 to 2. $5. Yes, $5.50 favourite. 9 to 2. The 9 to 2 the field. Like a goose. I gave $6 for a good bit of section, and at the finish, if you had up $5 or even the 4.80, they'd kill you for it. And it went straight to the front, as I say. Sitting on its outside was a recoinage, and trapped 3 wide outside the lead was a Party Rocker. It had barrier 14 in a field of 14. It struck the lottery when it won at Kembla last start, of course. That was the leader's track down there. And the second horse was most probably the best run in the race. Even though I did save ground along the fence, it came out 3/4 of a length and was clear last when they hit the ground. I'm talking about Tigress Baby. And then it was eased across to the fence in about third last position. Got plenty of rails runs turning for home, making up plenty of ground in between runners. What'll I wipe these 2K Ys of mine? They bloody will drive me mad. Anyway, it made up plenty of ground to just fail by half a length. So under the circumstances, with taking the bias into account, the second horse was by far the best run in the race. Running third was Shea Harmony. It had its chance. Well, when I say it didn't have it, well, it had its chance. It sat at about 6th position, and it finished fairly wide on the track and stuck its noggin out and got third, beating a couple of other runners in a photo finish for third. Second horse, the best run. When I say there was 107 on the screen, I suppose there were a few runners in the race, like Tinsley Green, which went up $6.50. It got out to $8.50. It was hard to lay. And likewise, the second horse, it went up about $7, $7.50, and got out to $9. It would have been a great result for me, and I suppose all the other captains, and it was hard to lay as well. More or less everything else, most runners from their opening quote got out in the market. Number 2, there was a bit of money for. Red Excitement, $19 into about 15. And a couple of others were backed on the way out. But the winner, it was by far the best back, especially in the last few minutes of betting, starting clear favourite. And as I said, finding the fence, which was an advantage. Race 6, 106, it's all right for you robots. We're not ruining you yet. 106.8 on the screen, but in the marketplace, under the 100, 98. And this runner came from 5th position Classics, getting there just on the line, beating Tromso. And Tromso sat 1 out, 1 back, led early, but then got into the 1 out, 1 back position. The winner came off its back, and leading on the fence was Samurai Lad, which was a huge advantage, as I keep on saying. It was, I own, Gay trains it, I own the lead, and Samurai Lad led. It was a little bit hard to lay Samurai Lad, opened up $4, it only got out to $10, and it did stick on well. It held on for third, but that's because it had the bias in its favour. If it would have sat maybe outside the lead, it wouldn't have run the whole. It just lasted for third. It's only beaten 2 lengths, so I suppose first up, its effort wasn't that bad. But coming off, as I say, the heels of Tromso and nabbing it right on the line was Classics. And Classics, if you gave $11, which was given, you laid it, and I think even $10 was layable at one stage. There was only 98% at top odds in the ring. Who started favourite in this race? Oh yes, down near the bottom, Gangster's Choice. and it was on the back. It ran third, and it was on the back of the winner. So it came. The winner came off the back of the second horse, and the third horse came off the back of the winner. They got off the fence a little bit down the straight, as I say, up near the lead. Even though they didn't lead, they were handy to the lead. The first three. Samurai Lad, who led, held on for third position. There was nothing. The starting favourite in the race, as I say, was Gangster's Choice. Went up $6, got to $6.50, and only started $5, about a 4-to-1 chance. 4-to-1 the field we were at the finish, but we did give 11-to-2. We gave 11-to-2 the field, $6.50 the field we gave. Tromso was very back late in betting, very, very late. It was poleaxe. Went up $7.50, got out to $8.50, plenty of it, even might have even been $9, but they killed you for $7 towards the end of betting, only starting about $6.50, all legal. Well, it came off the back of Gangster's Choice down the outside. It made up ground, which wasn't the place to be. We came to race 7, and everything's sweet still for you robots. 108.3 on the screen, but only a neat. We would have been lucky to get about 100 here. We would have been lucky to get 100 with quite a few runners unlayable. Keith's Legacy, it started favourite. There was only, when they hit the line, 2.4 lengths. There were 12 runners, and there was only 2.4 lengths between the field when they hit the line. So it will just go to show you that if you run this race over a few times, you would get a different result. Although the winner, I must say, Travolta, having his first start for Gay and resuming from a spell, ridden by Tommy Terrific Berry, to pick itself up after copying the check with about 80 metres to go was a good effort, because it got sandwiched in between River Salvation, who was getting around heels, and Keith's Legacy, who was ducking it a bit, and the both of them, it was in front of the two of them at poked through. Was always handy, the winner, Travolta. Gay would have, she would have jerried that up near the lead was the place to be, or and of course that's where all of Gay's runners run. I own the lead, and it settled down in third position, a little bit wide off the track. Leading was Long Rain off the fence, and on its inside, after spending a bit of petrol to find the fence after they'd gone a couple of furlongs, drawing barrier 12 and a field of 12 was Whisperosa. As I say, used a bit of petrol up early to find that position, and stuck on well, but it did have the bias in its favour. And as I say, look, I haven't really dissected this race, but from what I did see, just watching the replay once, 1.5 times, was that the winner wasn't entitled to, after it copped the check 80 metres out, to come back again and get between the two runners who caused the interference or to it. Wasn't entitled to come back and beat those two, but it did. So its win was most probably good. But as I say, there was only 2.4 lengths between the field, and run the race over again with the bias on the track. You had to be near the lead. The winner sat handy, but still a good effort. You would get a few different results. Keith's Legacy, I don't think you saw it on the flux. It went, bookies reached for it. It went up to $2.50. What am I talking about? Went up $3.50, 5-2 the field, but got out to $4.40. Plenty of it, and it only started $3.50. And I laid some good bets against it. It only just got beat, thank God. And it was a result for the bookies. The winner, funny thing, I did give $16 about Travolta. Went up very safely about the $12 mark, 11-to-1. I reached for it. I might have been the only one to give the $16. I did lay it, but it was taken towards the finish, $16 and $15, starting only about 14, a little bit hard to get. There were a lot of other runners in this race that got well out in the market. The favourite, Keith's Legacy, was extremely well backed. Then we got to the last, and wasn't this a funny betting race, especially in the last couple of minutes of betting. Um, the well, first of all, on the screen there was it's all right now, robots. 107.2 on the screen, but we had positive figures in the marketplace as well. 104%. But by the same token, this favourite choice words, if you didn't lay it early in the piece, which I didn't, I found it very hard to lay towards the end of betting. Talking about choice words, it found the line very strongly. It was reached for, went up $2.30, and it was reached for very early by some good captains out to $2.90, which was taken. And look, I think you could have laid it at the 290 and the 280 for a good section at one stage of the betting. But when they jumped, it was $3.20. And I think if the betting would have gone any further, you might have found it starting $3.40. You could be $3.20, and there wasn't a soul on the ground to say one Oxford on it. But the winner, Pentasia, and the one down the bottom, Mercia, they were poleaxed in the last couple of minutes of betting. I'll tell you what the flux were in this race. Falzon went from $17 to 26. My Vegas from 26 to 41. Tahitian Black from $12 to 16. Tester Rhythm from $17 out to 21. Choice Words, I told you, is to 240 out to 290, taken to 270 or 280. It mightn't have gone off, or it might have, but back out to $3.20 towards the end of betting, starting favourite. The next runner, Della Bombell, went from 17 out to 26. Now the winner, Pentasia, opened up $4.60, got to $5, but it was gradually backed. One of the pros, he had a large plate. He won't want any. He might have a very late supper because he'd be very full after the last. $5 into 480, the 460, the 440. Kill you for the 420. Now, what do you want to do at the tray? Well, take your tray for whatever you want. They took the $4 and it started $3.80, Pentasia. And where did it lob? Well, we all knew it was going to go straight to the front. Found the lead, and when they swung for home, Jenny Duggan, she didn't stay tied up against the fence. She said, "No, I'm not going to let you get up on my outside." The horse chasing it finished up. Well, it was sitting on its outside, mighty obvious at one stage, but then, it might have been still there to the turn, but coming along the fence behind the winner, Excellent Point, it had barrier one. It finished up running second, therefore, and the horse that ran third in the race, it was sitting fourth, Tester Rhythm. So it just goes to show you how important it was to be up near the lead. And as I getting back to the flux, they killed you for the tray. They said whatever you want at the $4 at the finish, and started 380. The next runner, Excellent Point, it didn't have a price, 21 to 31. Gazanor, it was back 14 out to 17, back into 15, hard to get. Mighty Obvious, 50 out to 101. No money for it. Now the next one was scratched. Now I gave $5.50 Mercia, and towards the finish, someone asked me for 15,000 to 5,000. I didn't quite bet them that much, but I gave them a really good bet. I didn't want to miss it. I gave the $5.50 and the 5 and 480 to 460, 440, 420, and they how much me at the finish, at the death, as they're about to jump at the $4. It started $3.80 as well, and it settled down in fifth position from barrier 2. Don't think this horse likes racing inside horses. When this runner might draw an outside alley, you might see it do a lot better. But anyway, it wasn't too far off the lead, and it ran through and ran fourth, beaten about 1.6 lengths. The favourite finished up running fifth in that race, making up plenty of ground out wide, really finding the line and getting back in the field today. The way the race was run, it was impossible for the favourite to win. And down the bottom, we had one more runner, Battle Ready. I did lay 7,100, and it started that price, or might have even started longer. So it was 40 out to 70, and I did manage to get a spot out of it at that price. And as I say, up near the lead, ridden by Jenny Duggan with 3 kilos off. It came in 1 kilo under the limit. Found the money, and it was a bit Harold Parkish, or Wentworth Parkish or Bulli, whatever you want to call it, or Dapto. Today, the old Rosehill, up near the lead was an advantage, and I think they might have jerried late in betting because everything was backed. It was up near the lead, and the pros, they don't miss much, those pros. They were a jerry. They said, come on, we're going to be onto this leader here. And Mercier might be behind it on the fence, but it got a little bit further back than they thought, Mercier. And they left the favourite out late because they most probably thought, yes, it mightn't be close to these. And we know where the best set, where you've got to be to get the cash. So that was the mother and the glory at Rosehill. It was an absolute strip out. Had to sell another couple of houses, the bookies, to play the Grumble and Grunners next week. Running out of houses. It's not monopoly, this game. Whatever you do, please promise not to tell any of the TAB punters or anyone betting with the corporates that the bookies on course are giving section away, because we can't afford to give any more away. We only like giving it to the regulars who come there all the time and the handful of pros who bet with us all the time. That's about all. Hope you had a good day and good luck.